Hello everybody, so this is Wednesday, this is the Hope into Action National Conference. We've had the whole team here and we've had one of our residents, or ex-residents now, because they've been able to move on into their own place and they've got a job, they're working with adults with learning difficulties, so just really lovely to have Sona with us. In case you didn't know, we've also seen one other lady move on this year out from one of our houses to her own place, and a family have just moved after 2 or 3 years with us into their own place. 2 of the family have got jobs. They came from a background where Christchurch Food Bank met them in their really darkest days. That we've helped them with their debt, we've helped them to get jobs, all sorts of things, and just lovely to see how they've moved on and to make a step forward. Anyway, what have I learned from here? They talked a lot about ending homelessness in community, and it's such a great thing. You know, John Kurt, their boss here at Hope into Action, came and talked to us at our Team Away Day last year. Some of you weren't there for that, but you'll hear a lot of us talking about grace and truth. That was one of the things he left with us. But also this idea that homelessness, and indeed any of the things we're dealing with, are not just about the practical stuff, but it's about the community, about relationships we put around people, and also seeing for us the church as being a key part of that to bring spiritual hope as well. Just went on and just absolutely re-engaged with that idea. Interestingly, they are talking about broadening their offering, not just from housing people and putting community around them, but actually getting alongside individuals to see how they can provide other ways, people who aren't necessarily in the homes they have, but just as we're thinking about the same things in terms of individuals who may be in other accommodation or individuals who've had a history of homelessness, how can we put community and the church alongside it? That's the boss just going for a that's John Kurt just going for a pratfall behind me, which is quite entertaining to do it in here. Final thing, 2 things. We had a Yorkshireman give us, a Yorkshire vicar give us a poem called The Gospel of the Wild Messiah. Look out for it, it's amazing. And the final word that they had from a guy called Chris Kandaya is hospitality overcomes hostility. We're in a culture war time now. You've seen it in the politics and the news. Hospitality, what we do in terms of practical, relational and spiritually, overcomes hostility. There's more we could probably say about that, but we've had a good day today and there's more to come. Hope you're having a good week. Hello everybody. So trying to take a bit of a retreat day today, trying to be a bit of space to pray and to think and to pray for you, pray for all that we're doing as Faithworks, pray for how we link in with the local area. And I was really impacted by one of the phrases that John Kurt used at the Hope into Action Day, which was, make sure you put on your own oxygen mask first, because if you can't breathe, then you can't help others. Seems really appropriate for the sort of work that we do, doesn't it? So I hope you've been able to take some time over this bank holiday, maybe even this rest of this week, to refresh and refill your bucket. Don't forget those well-being days. And we're going to be getting back into clinical supervision really soon, which is great. But I want to share a bit about what Smile's going on. The ladies are doing an amazing job over in Smile, but we had our steering group last week, and it's just a reminder of some of the challenges that they're facing. So stories of kids within lone parent families getting beaten up and it being filmed while they're being beaten up, and really hard to get the police engaged in this. So we're going to try and see if we can escalate that a bit, but really sad for those families and those young people. I'm sure you're finding it too, but help often just isn't there. It's a reality that as statutory services get more stretched, it's really hard for us to, and indeed some of our clients, to find the help that they need. It's almost like hitting the wall. But we are there, and the Smile team are doing an extraordinary job. That we've talked a little bit about this, but just to share the sort of the future direction of what Danny and Donna and Lucy are doing, is seeking to build 3 tiers, if you like. That sort of lowest tier being almost like anyone within the community in lone parent who's parenting alone can join in, and that might be trying to, particularly that coffee morning idea. We've been doing it for ages across in Poole. Really is a great connecting point for people to get peer support as well as external support. And what we're thinking is, would it be great to start to see that going out across our area. And so we're picking a couple of areas. It may start with Kinston, where some of you will know we have a bit of relationship with the food bank up in Kinston. There's a great church there, St Andrews, who have a lot of lone parents within their area. So that might be our first area to try and get that out. But then you build it up to the next level, and what we've got within our Smile team is that almost like a membership thing, so people are committed to joining in activities and courses and things like that. And then that top tier of link work, which Donna does so amazingly. And if we get some lottery funding, some more lottery funding, bids going in for first phase very soon, then hopefully that will allow us to get more link work alongside Donna. So there are plenty of joys, and it's quite interesting because, you know, we talk about practical help, relational support, and spiritual hope. Well, all three of those were stories in terms of coming out of the Smile steering group. So relationally, they've got a book club which they've started up again. It's such a great way. It's like therapy without formal therapy, I think is how they described it recently. But it's great as it's a way of some of the mums coming forward, and through reading a book, actually they're able to start to tell their own story and to find a voice. There's spiritual hope, so they're now starting to pray regularly on a Friday morning before the sessions. And actually last week, one of the mums came forward and says, "Oh, can you pray for me? I really need help at this moment." And that conversation opened up. And then really practical stuff, a lovely story of a mum coming out of a refuge hospital, pregnancy, other children, safe families there to support the other child, the team there sorting out carpets, sorting out clothing, sorting out a handy van to move their stuff into a new place, and above all, giving hope. And I'm returned then back to the HIA thing, which says, hospitality defeats hostility. Hostility, difficulty, hospitality wins, and you're really good at that. Thanks, everyone.